Good morning, all, and welcome to the Trade Setup right here on BloombergQuint Live. It's Friday, and yeah, it's been a long week, so to say. It comes after a truncated week, and maybe that's why. But the beauty about this week is that we are on track for ending the week with weekly gains, and if we do that, it'll be the sixth straight week wherein we'll have had gains, and that's the longest winning streak since July. Well, let's see how we are set up for that. First, the world markets. So the U.S. market, save for the Nasdaq, had a flattish day. Actually, the Nasdaq also had a fairly flat day. It was up just about, as you can see, very marginal points really, even for that. But the point being, Nasdaq was the only US index that ended in the green. The other two marginally in the red, and the futures are kind of flattish to marginally lower as well. So we don't have great cues from the world over. Though what happened in the US markets, amongst other things, was that Airbnb made its debut. All of us have used Airbnb in some fashion, right? Or maybe if not, I'm sure during the course of our lives, we will make use of it. And therefore, there are some memories attached to every Airbnb experience. It ended at 144, nearly double of what the IPO pricing was. Yes, it may have come off from the highs, but it still ended with gains, which is actually a great thing for everybody who subscribed to the IPO. But that just shows the quantum of money chasing a particular stock. And this one, in the travel and hospitality space predominantly, and has of course evolved since then, but in a space which isn't exactly hot this year, but the IPO red hot and giving investors enough reason to smile on the day of listing. Anyways, moving on. So what is Asia doing? What is SGX Nifty doing? I think precious little. In Asia, Kospi is in the green, but the other Asian indices are trading with some degree of red. So HSI, Straits Times, etc., all of them have some pullbacks. Actually, HSI too has bounced back. That's actually pretty interesting. The last time that I saw HSI, it was in the red. Now it's in the green. Kospi is trading in the green. So maybe Asia is not having as bad a day as or as flat a day as the US markets did. The SGX Nifty should next come up on your screen, and just to show you how the mood out there is. By the way, the mood on the call writers is extremely buoyant because, and I'll tell you why. Somehow the weekly options expiry seems to suggest that, oh boy, we are in for some gains. But the SGX Nifty, as I said, marginally higher in trade, kind of trying to recoup the losses that we had yesterday. Let's wait and watch how we start off and how we move on from there. So what's the trade setup for the day? Well, small hiccups did appear yesterday, I must tell you. But you had a prolonged bull run, and therefore this shouldn't surprise too many people that there are bound to be some hiccups along the way. High beta corrected, but FMCG came to the rescue. I think 13,400 will now be seen as a key as well as a crucial support as well. Most technical experts that I read from yesterday seem to suggest that this is that level that they will look for support, and if we indeed break this, then there could be some downsides. But for now, it doesn't look like we are in that zone. The other thing that has happened is commodities are red hot, and I'll talk about them later on, but I want to mention oil in particular here. It's settled about the $50 per barrel for the first time since March. Now, keep in mind, optically, or actually, if oil is higher, then that impacts our wage bill quite considerably. But I think India is in a cash surplus, and therefore, a slightly higher oil price may not have as profound an impact on sentiment on equities as it would have had maybe 5 years back, 10 years back, 15 years back. The current India and the current surpluses are slightly different, or staggeringly different, let me put it that way, than the past. But watch out for oil and the oil sensitives. I'll talk about them. And Bank Nifty, I think, while it's looking shaky, it may not correct as much if the FI flows remain robust. And they remain robust. Yesterday, I was talking about how we've had about 90,000 crores from November 1st until yesterday. I think FIs have put in more money. So 2,259 crores have been put in yesterday's session as well. So while DIs continue to sell, HNI, foreign investors, and probably individual investors continue to buy the Indian markets. A factor of how hot India is just the number of components which are above key moving averages. And there's this wonderful chart that has come on the Bloomberg terminal, which I want to bring out. Look at this. I love the headline as well, that India is pushing the limits of hotness. There's so many indicators which signal that the equity rally is running too hot. People would say too fast as well. So look at these charts and look at the orange chart, which is going above 98, as you can see on your screen. and that's the percent of members above the 200-day moving average, and that's 98% of the of the Nifty components trading above the 200-day moving average, which is considered a very bullish signal. So just the quantum of bullishness that is there on India right now is just quite staggering, and that should tell you a story about how fast we are rising and how hot we are. Well, let's talk about stocks to watch then in a scenario like this. By the way, before I get to individual names, do watch out for all the oil sensitives. Because oil is above 50 a barrel, the oil explorers, ONGC, Oil India, Hindustan Oil Exploration, all of these could be very important stocks. I think Morgan Stanley has gone out and upgraded ONGC today. So you might well want to keep an eye out for all the oil sensitives. They might be active today, even though they've had a rise. ONGC has risen, I think, from 70 on November 20th to about 91, 92 currently. So those stocks are hot, but there is more room, I presume, for growth because of the oil price movement upwards. So do watch out for those. I would tell you, do watch out for UPL in the session today. The con call that they did yesterday is important. They have said that the agreement with Sadafli ended in 2019, was not renewed. It's very interesting, the couple of points that they are making. So while the article that came in on ET Prime suggested that the board member has approached ET Prime and given this complaint, the last point on this plate today says, UPL says that none of the existing or past board members or audit committee members have made the complaint. And that's a stark contrast to what the media article was saying. And I'm sure the media article did the due diligence. It's not a run by the night, fly by night operator. It's the Economic Times group which has said this. So conflicting arguments. The management has tried its best to settle the fears of the market. Whether it will succeed or no, I don't know. I mean, we'll wait to see if UPL has a good day in the green today or no. But this is all, I mean, these are amongst the things that they have stated in the con call yesterday. Let's wait and watch how the stock reacts. Gadri Projects could have a good day. They've received a reasonably large order, I think. Multiple orders, I think 3 LOA for a letter of appointments for pipe drinking water schemes for Namami Gange worth 1,332 crores. Purely in the water segment. Gadri also has presence in construction. Let's wait and watch how this one reacts. Vardhaman Textiles. Viewers, remember the last time that I spoke about it a few days back, wherein the promoters were acquiring shares. The stock rose from 930, 40 or something like that to 1,000 that day. It's settled now at about 960, 970. But the news that got reported on the exchanges yesterday was that promoters acquired further 55,000 shares from 7 to 9 December. Now, they've been on a share acquisition spree. Usually, you would want to bet where the promoters are betting. Watch out for Vardhaman Textile. Could be an interesting stock to monitor in the session today as well. Kalpataru Power, and the reason why this is important is because of the decision that they have taken. Now, they have said that the proposal to construct a corporate office has been kept in abeyance. Now, keep in mind, viewers, Kalpataru Power corrected for 2 days on a trot and severely after they said that they're going to spend 170 crore rupees or construct a corporate office. In these difficult times, they came out with this resolution, which the street didn't like at all. Now, because they've reversed that resolution, could the stock move up? Well, let's wait and watch. It's corrected so much that I think you might see a bit of a rally in Kalpataru Power in the session today. So do watch out for that stock too in trade. Last but not the least, watch out for some of these stocks with higher delivery percentages. And 3 or 4 of them stand out in the session. So I would watch out for Tube Investments, Welspun Corp, Yes Bank, Karur Vysya Bank, and SpiceJet in particular, which knocked on the doors of 100 yesterday with fairly high delivery percentages. But Tube Investments could be an interesting one to watch out too. And of course, cannot end this piece without talking about commodities. I know everybody's wondering about whether the moves upwards would continue, not continue, etc. But commodities are rallying hard. I was speaking about oil. Watch out for the base metals too. The Bloomberg Commodity Spot Index has risen to the highest level since 2014. That tells you a story. So we've had a splendid rally in steel companies, in base metal companies, Hindalco, Vedanta, what have you. But commodities are running hot, and therefore it might not be a good idea to bet against these names. So you have to bear that in mind, that the rally is strong There is a fundamental reason for these stocks to do what they are doing, and therefore think twice before you bet against them. Thanks so much for tuning into the trade setup. A bunch of stocks which are in focus today. I wish you happy trading on the last day of the week. Have a great Friday as well.